So for this video, I was thinking we could do something a little different. Normally when I study, I write out my notes in question and answer format and try to listen to these types of videos in my head and try to answer them as I go. So if you want to listen to this quiz, that kind of models what an actual quiz would look like. So the first question is, what does Japan mean? Land of the Rising Sun. Number 2, describe Japan's island system. It is a chain of islands known as an archipelago. Yeah, I'm not sure if I said that right. 3, name the 4 main islands of Japan. Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu, but there are about 3,000 more. Number 4, what is Japan about the size of? Montana. What climate is Japan similar to? The Eastern United States. What percentage of land in Japan is suitable for farming? 12%. Describe the topography of Japan. It's very mountainous. Where did most people in Japan settle? In narrow river valleys and coastal plains. What did they use to farm the sides of mountains? Terracing. Where did the Japanese also turn to for food? The sea. Describe the impact of the seas on Japan. They kept them isolated, and they provided trade routes. Describe the meaning of the distance from the mainland, or the impact, It was close enough to Korea and China for trade, but far enough to not be conquered. What quote describes where Japan is located? Ring of Fire. Describe this. So they have earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. What was early Japanese society divided into? Clans. Clans are family groups that trace their origins to a common ancestor. What is the first clan to gain control in 500 CE? The Yamato clan. What did the Yamato clan do? It set up Japan's first and only dynasty. Who do the Yamato clan claim descendants from? The sun goddess Amaterasu. What is the Yamato symbol? The rising sun. What is a traditional religion of Japan? Shinto. Describe Shinto. It is based on respect for nature, and it has no sacred text. It means the way of the gods. What is Shinto created out of? Worship of kami, or spirits, natural forces found in all things. What did they build? Shrines to honor nature. And these shrines, where are these shrines found? They're found around waterfalls, mountains, and a grove of ancient trees. What prince spread Chinese culture and Buddhism to Japan? Prince Shinto. What did Prince Shinto do? Sorry, not Prince Shinto, it's Prince Shoto. What did Prince Shoto do? He sent missionaries to China to gather knowledge of Chinese ways. Many more missionaries followed over the next 200 years. Not missionaries, just missions followed over the next 200 years. And then they would return and spread Chinese art, technology, thought, and ideas on government. Where did the Japanese emperor build his new capital, and what is the impact of this? Or like, what's the meaning? The new capital was built at Nara. It was based on the Chinese capital. Describe the Chinese impact on nobility. The nobles spoke Chinese, they dressed Chinese, and they ate Chinese food. What ceremonies were introduced by the Chinese? The tea drinking and the tea ceremony were introduced. What writing system became the official language of scholars and nobles? Officials. The Chinese. What architectural style did Japan adopt? Like, what type of architecture? The pagoda style. What impact did Buddhism have on architecture? Buddhist monasteries were built and they were very powerful. What philosophy took root in Japan? Confucianism. What Chinese thing did Japan not accept? Or idea? What Chinese idea did Japan not accept? Civil service exams. What did the Japanese add to Chinese writing? Kana and kana are phonic symbols that represent syllables. What period saw Chinese influence reach its peak and decline? The Heian period. That's spelled Heian. Where was the capital located then? In Heian, present-day Kyoto. What family in the Heian period took control of the throne? The Fujiwara family. What controlled society? A small population of nobles. So you could call this like autocracy, perhaps an oligarchy. Describe the role of the emperors. They were figureheads. They were figureheads, and that they had like a lot of religious ceremonies. What system was introduced in the Heian period? Like a social, political, economic system? Feudalism. Describe what governs society. Court etiquette, beauty, was a way of like showing your character. Describe the noble women, like what they wore, what their fashion was. They wore their hair to their ankles. They wore dyed clothing to match the seasons, layered silk, and robes. Eyebrows were plucked and then redrawn higher on their forehead. Describe the fashion for men. They wore faint mustaches and a thin goatee. Not sure what that means. What did men and women wear? Like, what did both of them wear? Noble men and women. They wore blackened teeth and powdered faces. What was everyone in court expected to do? Write poetry and paint. Who produced the most important literature of the period? Like, group of people. Women. What couldn't women do in writing? Like, and how did they deal with this? So women couldn't learn Chinese, so they wrote in kana. Who wrote the Pillow Book? Sei Shonagon. Who was known as the best writer of the Heian period? Lady Murasaki. What did she write? She wrote The Tale of Genji, and it's considered the world's first novel. What was the new Buddhist sect that started in Japan? Zen. What does Zen mean? It means meditation. What are some values of Zen Buddhism? Devotion to duty, simplicity, love of beauty, and reverence to nature. Did Zen Buddhism conflict with Shinto? No. Name in order the social classes of Japan from highest to lowest. So first was the emperor, then was the shogun, then was the daimyo, then was the samurai, then ronin, peasants, and artisans, and then merchants. What was the shogun? A political leader. What were the samurai? Lesser warriors. Who were ronin? Samurai who had lost their masters. What code did the samurai follow? They followed the code of Bushido, which is known as the way of the warrior. What was the ritual suicide that the samurai committed when they did not follow the code called? So what was the name of the ritual suicide? Seppuku. What two powerful clans fought for control? Taira and Minamoto. Who won? Minamoto. Who took the title of shogun? Yoritomo Minamoto. Who invaded and was it successful? So the Mongols invaded. There were 2 invasions and they were not successful. Who was the Mongol ruler at the time of these invasions, I'm guessing? Kublai Khan. So it's spelled Kublai and then Khan. And that's the grandson of Genghis Khan. What saved Japan from these invasions? Typhoons, and they were known as kamikaze or divine way. What was the Civil War period? When was the Civil War period? Between 1461 and 1568. What was it known as? Sengoku, or Warring States period. Who controlled in this period? Warring daimyos. Who were the first Europeans to enter Japan, and what did they bring? The Portuguese, and they brought religion. Who defeated all his rivals in the Civil War period? Oda Nobunaga. What is the legacy of this? Or what's something that makes it special? It was the first time that firearms were used effectively in battle in Japan. What did Nobunaga never do? He did not unite all of Japan. Who succeeded Nobunaga, and what did he do? Toyotomi Hideyoshi. He controlled most of the country by 1590. What kept him from uniting all of Japan? Failed expeditions against Korea. Who unified Japan? Tokugawa Ieyasu. At what battle did he defeat his rivals? The Battle of Tokugawa Ieyasu. Wait. Sorry, I'm wrong. I was reading off the wrong thing. What battle did he defeat? What battle did Tokunaga Ieyasu defeat his rivals? The Battle of Sekigahara. So the Battle of Sekigahara. What title did Tokugawa Ieyasu take in 1603? Shogun. Where did he move the capital to? Edo, which is present-day Tokyo. So what were the daimyo required to do? Spend every other year at the capital. Where was the Yamato family required to stay? At Edo. What religion did Ieyasu ban? Christianity. Who was kicked out of Japan and who could stay? So all Westerners were kicked out except for the Dutch, who were allowed to come to Nagasaki to train once a year. Did it say once a year? To train? Yeah, each year. How were the shoguns able to control the daimyo? They set up a strong central government. What did this bring? Peace and prosperity. How is society kept orderly? Because they put restrictions on social classes. Thank you for watching. I hope that this, answering these in your head, this will help you quiz yourself for the next quiz. Have a nice day.